World TV News Prime. National Population Commission begins nationwide digital death registration. And in business, World Bank urges developing nations to emerge artificial intelligence. And on the foreign scene, U.S. reports progress in Iran-Oman Strait of Hormuz talks. And in sport, President Bola Tinubu hails Team Nigeria's Commonwealth Games success. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and Free TV. The National Population Census Commission has commenced nationwide digital registration of birth and death through its vital registration platform, describing the initiative as a major step towards strengthening Nigeria's civil registration and vital statistics, that is CRVS system. NPC Chairman Dr. Aminu Yusuf said this during a press briefing marking the 2026 World Population Day, adding that the platform become fully operational across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory July 1, 2026. Yusuf said the digital registration system would improve access to legal identity, enhance data accuracy, and support evidence-based planning. The Presidential Working Group on the National Policing Bill will submit an executive bill package to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on September 3 as part of effort to establish the legal and operational framework for the proposed state police system. Chairman of the Committee and Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, disclosed this after a meeting of the Presidential Working Group at the State House in Abuja. Aniete Patrick has this detail.
Chairman of the Committee and Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, described the initiative as one of Nigeria's most significant governance reforms. He said the objective was to create a lawful, professional, and sustainable policing system that strengthens security at the grassroots while maintaining national standards and protecting the rights of all Nigerians. He, however, clarified that no state police service currently exists because the constitutional amendment has not yet secured approval from the required number of state houses of assembly. According to him, the proposed national policing bill would address key operational issues including recruitment, training, funding, command structure, pensions, firearms regulation, data management, human rights safeguards, and interagency cooperation.
The timetable is demanding, but it is not a shortcut. Legal drafting, policy, research, data analysis, and implementation modeling will proceed in parallel with fixed review gates. The final package will comprise more than a bill. It will include schedules, an explanatory memorandum, a legal audit, and consequential amendments matrix.
Gbajabiamila also announced that President Tinubu has approved a multidisciplinary policy advisory committee to provide technical oversight and validate the proposed legislation before executive consideration. He added that no state would be allowed to commence policing operations until it meets strict requirements on recruitment, training, equipment, financial sustainability, independent oversight, and other operational standards.
Formally mobilizes the next stage. The resulting executive bill package is scheduled for presentation to the President on the 3rd of September. Subject to his approval, a national consultation on the completed draft will follow. But I think that we have tweaked that so the national consultation will come before the President's final approval.
Responding to questions on the financial implications of the reform, Gbajabiamila said it was premature to estimate costs, noting that expenditure would be determined through empirical research conducted on a state-by-state basis. Aniti Patrick, Global TV News.
The Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDTA, Kashifu Abdullahi, says Nigeria must build and control its digital infrastructure to guarantee data sovereignty, strengthen cybersecurity, and drive economic growth. He made this known at the signing of 3 landmark regulatory instruments and the presentation of the National Cloud Investment Strategy in Abuja. Anita Patrick has the details.
Nigeria has taken a major step towards strengthening its digital economy with the unveiling of a national cloud investment strategy and the signing of 3 landmark regulatory instruments aimed at boosting data sovereignty, digital infrastructure, and cloud investments. The Director General of NIDA, Kashifu Abdullahi, described data as a strategic national asset that should remain under Nigeria's jurisdiction. He noted that the initiative is expected to accelerate Nigeria's drive towards a $1 trillion economy while protecting critical national data. Abdullahi further explained that the new framework would position Nigeria as a digital hub for West and Central Africa while attracting investments in cloud computing and artificial intelligence.
We are moving towards having systems that can decide what gets what in our society. And our technology is becoming increasingly connected. Everything today is connected, is converged. And our society is becoming increasingly quantified. Everything we do is captured, processed, and stored.
Representing the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Director of Payment System Policy, Rekia Yusuf, said digital infrastructure has become critical to financial stability, noting that the CBN's data localization policy is designed to safeguard Nigeria's financial ecosystem and strengthen national resilience.
It signals Nigeria's collective resolve to strengthen digital sovereignty, deepen national resilience, and ensure that the critical infrastructure supporting our economy is secure, is trusted, in a manner that protects our national interests.
The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Engineer Nadongo Gangare, described the Sovereign Cloud initiative as a milestone that will enhance data governance, stimulate local technology investment, and create jobs.
In an increasingly interconnected global economy, data has become the most strategic asset of any sovereign nation.
The new regulatory instruments are expected to guide the development of Nigeria's cloud ecosystem, encourage private sector investments, and accelerate the implementation of secure digital infrastructure across government and the financial sector. Anieti Patrick, Global TV News.
State Governor Abubakar Yusuf has launched a modern sickle cell center aimed at improving access to quality health care for people living with sickle cell disease. The governor also flagged off the distribution of free maternal and emergency medical commodities, hospital bed sheets, and 300 customized digital blood pressure monitors as part of efforts to strengthen healthcare delivery across the state. Global TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports.
For thousands of people living with sickle cell disease in Kano, access to specialized care has remained a major challenge. That challenge is expected to ease with the inauguration of this new sickle cell center at Murtala Muhammad Specialist Hospital. The facility is designed to provide comprehensive services under one roof, including free diagnosis, counseling, treatment, patient education, follow-up care, and specialized management of sickle cell disease.
Out of our commitment to assist the downtrodden people, the less privileged people of the society. especially those that have been suffering from this contagious disease, which is the sickle cell disease.
The event also featured the symbolic distribution of free maternal and accident and emergency commodities, new hospital bed sheets, and 300 customized digital blood pressure monitors. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf says the initiative reflects his administration's commitment to improving healthcare services and reducing preventable deaths across the state. Governor Yusuf says the decision to distribute digital blood pressure monitors to public servants and political appointees followed increase in concern over sudden death caused by hypertension. According to him, regular blood pressure checks will encourage early detection, prompt treatment, and help build a healthier and more productive workforce.
With the distribution of 3,000 customized digital blood pressure monitors to state public servants. Equally, we witnessed the symbolic distribution of pre-medical neonatal child health and pre-accident and emergency commodities. It will also be a symbolic ceremony for the distribution of 4,855 bed sheets to certain regional facilities.
The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Abubakar Labaran, says the administration has made remarkable progress in healthcare delivery since assuming office. He notes that health facilities have been upgraded across the state, while maternal mortality has declined significantly from more than 1,300 recorded cases in 2023 to about 300 in 2026. With the launch of the Specialized Sickle Cell Center and continued investments in life-saving medical interventions, the Kano State government says it is strengthening efforts to deliver accessible, affordable, and quality healthcare to people. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, Global Television News. For thousands of people living...
The Nigerian Customs Service has released the final list of successful candidates for its 2024-25 nationwide recruitment exercise, announcing that 3,852 applicants have secured employment from record of 573,680 applications received across the country. Addressing journalists in Abuja, Controller General of Customs Adewale Adeni said the successful candidate comprised 1,275 officers in the superintendent cadre, 367 in the inspectorate cadre, and 2,210 in the custom assistance cadre. Sadia Yakubu has the details.
I am pleased to...
Comptroller General of Customs Adewale Adeni apologized for the delay in concluding the exercise, explaining that the service subjected every application to rigorous screening, computer-based testing and identity verification to ensure only qualified candidates emerge. The Comptroller General described the recruitment as one of the most competitive in the service history, with only 1 out of every 148 applicants gaining employment. He assured Nigerians that the process strictly complied with the Federal Capital Principle, with all 30 states and the Federal Capital Territory represented equally in the final selection.
The release of the final list of successful candidates in 2024-2025 recruitment exercise of the Nigeria Customs Service. A total of 3,852 candidates have been offered places across 3 cadres of entry into the Nigeria Customs Service.
Adeni disclosed that women accounted for 839 successful candidates, representing 21.8% of the total intake, while nearly 3/4 of those recruited are below the age of 30. He noted that the youthful intake is expected to strengthen the service capacity as customs operations increasingly embrace technology, automation, and intelligence-driven border management. In a major policy shift, the Customs Boss announced that recruitment into the service will now become an annual exercise. He said the 2026 recruitment will commence later this year and is expected to be completed within a single calendar year, ending the long gaps that previously characterized recruitment into the service.
The Nigeria Customs Service is moving to an annual recruitment cycle. Recruitment will no longer be an occasional event undertaken after several years. It will be a standing, predictable yearly event. The 2026 recruitment exercise will therefore open later this year, and it is my firm intention that it will be completed within a single calendar year from advertisement to the final list.
The Comptroller General congratulated the successful candidates and warned them against dealing with fraudsters, stressing that recruitment into the Nigerian Customs Service remains free of charge. He also encouraged unsuccessful applicants not to lose hope, assuring them that another opportunity will be available during the next recruitment cycle. Sadia Yakubu, Global TV News.
A major boost has come to All Progressive Congress APC ahead of the 2027 general election as former national chairman of the party. Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has brokered a historic merger of 4 rival groups of 7 and former APC councillors into a single national platform. The breakthrough followed a high-level reconciliation meeting in Abuja where the factions agreed to end years of internal rivalry, dissolve the separate structure, and speak with one voice in advancing the party's grassroots agenda. Sadatu Garba has the details.
The newly harmonized body brings together the Progressive Serving Councillors Forum of Nigeria, the coalition of past and present APC councillors for Tinubu Shetima 2027, and the National Progressive Councillors Forum and the National Association of Past and Present Progressive Councillors. The merger also produced a new leadership structure with 2 operational wings for serving and former councillors. Ganduje was unanimously adopted as Grand Patron, while a caretaker committee and board of trustees were inaugurated to steer the affairs of the unified forum. National Chairman, National Progressive Councillors Forum, Muslihu Yusuf Ali says the new structure will deepen grassroots mobilization, strengthen party cohesion, and expand the APC's political base across the country ahead of the next election cycle.
We will and I we came up with a proposal to create a local government directorate in council, which later they approved, and they were assigned to help them to bring us to participating as a auditor, director of the National Capital Council, and then I cooperated some of members here.
Then is I would like to introduce my antecedents so that you know why I'm interested in this association, and to know also why I'm qualified to advise.
The group also reaffirmed its commitment to mobilizing nationwide support for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima in 2027, with a national leadership summit and convention planned to consolidate the merger.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. News Cycle continues after this weather forecast plus business, foreign and export stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Hello and welcome to the weather forecast. If you've been wondering where the heaviest rains are being observed, here's the answer. The convective zone shifts further northward, setting the stage for widespread thunderstorms and intense rainfall across the northern parts of the country. And so for Wednesday, overnight systems are expected to linger into the early hours, bringing thunderstorms and rains in parts of Adamawa, Taraba, Bauchi, Gombe, the northwest, as well as parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Nasarawa and Plateau states. Residents in the South-South region are expected to experience morning rains. As we go into the afternoon and evening hours, our weather models indicate even more favorable conditions for storm developments across the north and north-central region, with light to moderate rains in the southeast, south-south, and parts of Oyo, Ondo, and Ekiti states. That's the forecast. I am Theodora Itun. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back from that break. Now in business, President Bola Tinubu has invited the People's Republic of China to partner with Nigeria through the sharing of geophysical data and technical cooperation rather than aid to unlock the country's vast marine resources and promote economic prosperity. The invitation was conveyed by Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Jimoh Ibrahim, during a keynote address at the United Nations Sustainable Development Workshop on high-quality development of the named economy in Beijing. Speaking on behalf of the President, Ibrahim commended China for its leadership in developing the marine and blue economy and reaffirming Nigeria's ambition to become one of the world's leading marine economy. And now on the foreign scene, the United States says negotiations involving Iran and Oman have recorded encouraging progress towards improving the security of commercial shipping through the strategic Strait of Hormuz, even as a final agreement remains out of reach. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio made the disclosure during a meeting at the State Department with Ruben Ramirez Lazago, saying the ongoing diplomatic engagement is aimed at ensuring the safe passage of commercial vessels through the strategic waterways in the immediate term. Samuel Odi reports.
The Strait of Hormuz is a vital global energy corridor handling a large share of world oil and gas exports. Raising tension in the Gulf have continued to fuel concerns over the safety of maritime trade and stability of international energy markets. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio noted that the discussion could also pave the way for wider negotiation on Iran's nuclear program, describing the current diplomatic momentum as encouraging while cautioning that key issues remain unsolved and no final agreement has been reached.
Ships moving through the straits, there's oil moving right now through the straits, so the straits are open. Nonetheless, I think that there's a conversation and negotiation that we are involved in between Oman and Iran on how more ships can be able to go through there safely in the short term as we move towards these longer term talks about denuclearization. And suffice it to say, there's been progress made in those talks, but not finality yet. We're hoping that will happen very shortly.
The United States says it will sustain diplomatic engagement with regional partners to ease tension, protect global maritime commerce, and create the condition for broader negotiations on Iran's nuclear program. Samuel Odi, Global TV News.
In sport, President Bola Tinubu congratulated Team Nigeria for its impressive outing at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, where the country won 24 medals. Nigeria finished the Games with 10 gold, 7 silver, and 7 bronze medals, a performance the president described as a reflection of the resilience, discipline, and determination of Nigerian athletes. In a statement issued by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, Tinubu said the athletes have flown the nation's flag with dignity and pride throughout the competition. The president also commended the leadership of the Nigerian Olympic Committee and the National Sports Commission for their commitment to sports development and support for athletes. As Global TV News Prime comes to an end, let's take a look at our top stories. The National Population Commission has commenced nationwide digital registration of birth and death through its Vital Reg platform, describing the initiative as a major step towards strengthening Nigeria's civil registration and vital statistics CRVS system. And in business, we told you the World Bank has called on developing countries to embrace artificial intelligence technology tools to deliver better governance outcomes, warning that they risk being left behind if they fail to do so. And on the foreign scene, we told you that the United States has negotiations involving Iran and Oman have recorded encouraging progress toward improving the security of commercial shipping throughout the strategic Strait of Hormuz, even as a final agreement remains out of reach. Again, in sport, President Bola Tinubu congratulates Team Nigeria for its impressive outing at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, where the country won 24 medals. And that's it on News Prime. Here's a quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and Free TV. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Ramsey Enoch Abo. Thank you for watching.